Okay, Mama, we're gonna take one small step back here and go to your college days. So, how did you decide to go to USL?
I had no choice.
Who gave you no choice?
My mother.
Why?
Because Uncle Joe was president of USL.
So,
there was never any doubt where I would go to college. It was a good school too.
Yeah. When where did you live when you first went there? In some dormitories?
Yeah. In dormitories, and I had 3 roommates.
Do you remember who they were?
Mandy Miller, Libby Smith, and Janet Freeman. Janet Freeman and Libby Smith were from Gaydon. No, I was friends with them before.
Oh, so you could pick who you wanted to be with.
And then Mandy Miller, I was kind of assigned, and she was from Monroe or Shreveport or somewhere, but she and I didn't see eye to eye. And
about what?
Basically anything. But it's okay. But she didn't like me, and I didn't like her too much. I was good friends with Libby and Janet Faye Freeman from Gator, but we had been old friends. So that's when we decided to live together.
What do you remember from first being at college?
Well, I come from Kaplan High School, so college was not hard for me. And I was a drama major. That lasted a while. But it didn't take long for me to figure out I wasn't very good at memorizing, especially if I was memorizing lines. So I think it was during, what's the name of that play? I don't know. It was during a play. The witch's scene from Macbeth.
Oh, you did Macbeth?
Yeah. That I didn't do real well in it. But my freshman year, I was in a musical. And that I liked a lot because I got to dance.
Is that West Side Story?
It was West Side Story. And the other thing I liked about it was that I had boyfriends that were in West Side Story.
So you were, because you had dark hair, you were a shark?
I was a shark. Yeah. But it was fun. I had a good time with that. And there were a lot of, they used, because we had some adagio dances, and the boys had to lift us, they used a lot of the weightlifters in that to lift us. So that was fun.
Tell what's the story connected with that? Why was that fun?
You had a boyfriend who was a weightlifter?
No.
No, maybe you told me how did they sound? How did the weightlifters sound?
Sound?
Yeah, I remember you told me that they had a funny voice. What was it?
No, I don't remember that. What did I tell you?
Well, you said because they had strained their neck muscles so much, they all had squeaky voices.
Oh, that was it. That's another story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you train too much with the weightlifting, you stretch your vocal cords, and it makes you have a high voice. So one time this big man came to pick me up, he was cute, but this was later on. But he was a doctor um, with uh, Tom Whitecloud. And when he came to pick me up, he was so good looking. Big muscles, big neck. And he said, "Hi." "Hi, Kathleen." And oh God, that turned me off so much. But what it was is that he had strained his neck muscles as a weightlifter. So, needless to say, that didn't go anywhere.
When did you decide to be in a sorority?
It's another one of those things that I had no choice. Everybody who went to USL, who wanted to get invited to a lot of parties, was in a sorority. And so my mother had been a Kappa Delta. And I didn't tell until after I had pledged that I was going to be a Kappa Delta. But I did like their parties the best and their skits the best. And I had fun with them. So anyway, I became a Kappa Delta. And by the time I was a senior, I was president of Kappa Delta.
What was it like pledging for Kappa Delta in Lafayette?
Well, we had a lot of good parties, and our sister organization, brother organization, was Kappa Sig, and I mostly dated Kappa Sigs. So.
What were the parties like? Crazy?
Yeah. Like the Suppressed Desires party was the best party.
What was that?
You can imagine.
Look, don't make me imagine. Tell me.
A lot of the men came with a string hanging from their head. You guess why?
I can guess. Kind of like Prince Charles.
No.
Yes, exactly.
Prince Charles had that same suppressed desire.
He wanted to be a tampon.
To be a Tampax.
Yeah.
Yeah, tampon.
Tampon, whatever. Yeah. So that's how the men went. Forgot what I wore to that party. Yeah, they had good parties. Kappa Six pretty much had the reputation as the best parties on campus. And I was dating a Kappa Sig. My professor, when I was taking geography, went to the Kappa Sig parties.
They had professors at the parties?
Yeah.
That's funny.
If they were Kappa Sig, they went to the Kappa Sig party.
Oh, I see.
They belonged to something else, they went to that one. Most of my friends, a lot of my friends were Kappa Deltas. But
who do you still keep in touch with that was a Kappa Delta?
Cheryl Strohmeyer was my best friend.
Kappa Delta.
Yeah, and she continues to be. We talk now at least once a week.
That's good. What else do you remember about your Kappa Delta days?
I was this Tin Man for Wizard of Oz.
You did a play in your sorority?
Yeah, we did a play. Yeah, and it didn't take me long to realize that I didn't memorize well, and so being the Tin Man, you just had to dance a lot. So I danced around the room a lot, and everybody laughed because the Tin Man is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And I could make it look like I was about ready to fall down. And so I had a great Tin Man outfit, and I loved doing that. That was fun. I didn't have to memorize any lines because all I did was dance around. And they, the sorority decided they could tell I couldn't memorize real well, and I wasn't real friendly. So they put me in the kitchen, and I was in charge of the kitchen.
Like during parties?
During parties. And there wasn't that much to do. I just had to make sure everything got on the table in time, which I did.
So, but you were the president, but who made you go in the back? Who?
Oh, everybody thought I should be in the back.
Is that because you weren't like really good with small talk and stuff?
No, I couldn't stand small talk. So, where are you from? Tell me about your high school. I didn't do all that well. So, if it was serious, I could talk. But if it was just making small talk, I wasn't very good.
Was Gammy ever involved? Because she was a Kappa Delta. Did she get involved in your chapter at all?
Not really.
What about the ants? Were they Kappa Deltas too?
No,
Just Gammy.
you just gave me.
So you were the president at one point?
Yeah.
What else did you do, like leadership in?
Well, I think I might have gotten kicked out because I told them that I was going to adopt a black child, and no, I didn't tell my local chapter that, but I told the national chapter that I probably was going to adopt a black child. And I think probably they kicked me out because I never got any of the magazines. And it was after I told them that they quit sending me the magazines.
This was the days when they were debating segregation and desegregation. They had to change their charter.
Because USL was segregated. There weren't any black students at USL. Huh?
Oh, there were lots of black children.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was separate but equal, you know.
They had separate fraternities and sororities.
Yeah, there were black sororities.
So Uncle Joel desegregated.
Yeah.
When?
Way back, he believed everybody should be educated. Yeah.
That's interesting. Oh, because by the time y'all were, I think it was in the 50s that places like LSU were desegregated, right? Late 50s?
40s and 50s, yeah. But some of them held out. Tulane was late.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Maybe 60s even. Loyola was a pioneer in that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Father Toomey. Father, a sociologist too, Fichter. Joseph Fichter. Anyway.
What do you remember about, like, what did you do in the summers between your college years?
Taught swimming lessons.
In Kaplan?
Mm-hmm.
You went home?
I went home and I taught swimming lessons to little kids like 8-year-olds.
At the Kaplan pool?
Mm-hmm. I got real dark. Somebody wrote to me recently and said, you have to make sure you get enough vitamin D since you have MS. I got so much vitamin D growing up. Oh, I was so dark because I stayed in the sun all the time. I stayed in the sun.
You didn't use any sunscreen either.
They didn't have that.
Just put some coconut oil on.
Yeah, probably. But I don't remember that they had sunscreen. We weren't as aware of that as we are now. And just burned. When I got real dark, I didn't burn anymore.
Did you go on any trips with your friends while you were in college?
Yeah, I remember one. we went to conferences because of Kappa Delta. And yeah, we went a few places, but not a lot. It wasn't a time that I traveled a lot. I traveled when I was younger. I went with some of the aunts on trips. In fact, one year I went to summer school at Tempe, Arizona.
When you were in high school?
No, when I was in college.
Oh.
And I took 2 courses at Tempe during the summer. One of them was with Big Kathleen. It was children's literature. And the other one, I don't remember what it was. But
so she went there for the summer to teach?
She was teaching there in the summer. And we had an apartment. And
you shared it?
She and I shared it, yeah.
That's cute.
But in the same apartment was this really cute guy who was a javelin thrower for the Olympics.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, she didn't like the idea of mine going out with him. But of course, he asked me out. And I did go out with him once. Because he was really stupid. But anyway, yeah, I didn't enjoy him. But we went swimming together in the pool. There was a pool in Tempe, in the apartments where we stayed in. And I saw him in the pool. And that's where she decided that she really did want him to go out with me. He was cute, though. And he had a fabulous body. And being a javelin thrower, I guess he had a lot of muscles. So anyway, but I didn't like him. I thought he was stupid. And I was used to smart guys. So he bored me.
How did you decide to major in education?
I was going to be a drama major. But that didn't work out because I couldn't memorize my lines. So I changed my mind fast and decided on elementary education. I'm glad I did.
So,
the year that I was student teaching was the year they integrated everywhere.
So that was your senior year in college?
Yeah.
Where were you student teaching?
At a little small school. It was the school for USL. The model school.
Yeah.
And our teacher, Dickie Stein and I were teaching in the same classroom. And he was my good friend. And we decided, well, what happened is they put a little black boy in our room. And the first day, the teacher changed the desks around so no one would have to sit in his desk. So she moved him on the very last row in the back of the classroom. Well, when she came back in the room, we had moved his desk up in the middle of the classroom so he could be friends with everybody. And it took her a while to realize that we were working against her and that we believed in integration. She couldn't imagine that we believed in that. But towards the end of our student teaching, we invited her to go to a movie with us. She was so delighted till she found out the name of the movie. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? I don't think she appreciated that at all. But anyway, we took her to the movie. And we brought her home after. She didn't say too much. I think by then she'd figured out that we believed in uh, integrating this child into our classroom. But it was a difficult year for a lot of people because a lot of kids had been brought up to think that blacks shouldn't be integrated. So it was kind of rough for a few of the students.
So after that, you graduated after your student teaching, and you immediately got another job. That's the job in Jefferson Parish.
Yeah. And I taught at Poston Road. I don't remember the name of it.
That was in Indiana.
Oh.
Can't think of the name of it. Was it on Eden?
J.C. Ellis?
Yeah, on Edenborn.
Yeah.
Was it elementary school?
Yeah, Jefferson.
Yeah. And it was okay. Because we had from USL, from LSU, LSUNO, we had student teachers. And I handled that okay.
You had students in your classroom?
I had two teachers that I got assigned to me.
Student teachers.
Even though it was your first year teaching?
Student teachers. Yeah.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, it did to them. Because I had graduated.
You still knew more than they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was fun, except I failed one of my students. And she called me years later and said, "Thank you for failing me. I would have been a terrible teacher." And I said, "I know." You didn't like kids.
I think, remember your student, you always used to tell me about Henry. And teaching in Metairie.
Henry. Yeah, that was afterwards though. That was when I was teaching in Metairie. I had this student named Henry. Henry wasn't the best behaved student. Let's say he wasn't even close to being a well behaved student. He pulled the fire alarm the last day of school and let everybody out early. He was bad.
He was bad, but you always liked the bad kids.
Yeah, I always got along with the bad kids really well. But I figured it was Henry. Henry got caught.
Did he end up in jail there?
No, I don't think so. Not that I know of. I don't remember that. He probably eventually did.
So you taught that year, and then you found out, and that brings us up to going to Europe.
No.
No?
No, not yet. What did you do after that?
I taught at J.C. Ellis,
Yeah,
didn't
but
I?
you went back to UNO to get your master's.
Yeah, I got
You did a 1-year master's.
I got my master's degree. And
remember who your mentor was?
Marie Marcus.
What about her?
She taught me a lot about teaching reading. But she would make me in charge of stuff all the time. She'd say, "Oh, I'm not going to be in my class this afternoon. I want you to teach about," which meant I had to learn about whatever it was before I taught the class.
You were her TA.
Yeah. So I had a scholarship to work with her. But she taught me a lot.
Mm-hmm. They were very close.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So you helped her teach her undergrad education classes.
Mm-hmm. Sure, not her grad.
And then the summer after that is when you heard about. So while you were getting your master's, you heard about the USL trip.
Yeah.
I mean the Ruston trip.
But I'm just thinking, after we met, you still had classes to take, so it wasn't exactly 1 year. Must have been the next fall semester.
A year and a half.
A year and a half.
But you were a full-time master's degree student.
Yeah.
A full-time graduate student.
Yeah, because after we met in '69, when we went back, she had an apartment on Orleans, and we started dating, and she was still in school.
Orleans by City Park?
Yeah.
Right across the street from City Park.
By that little triangle restaurant right there.
Yeah.
So how did you decide to go to Europe? I mean, you knew, no, not that. What were you doing? How did you meet Mike early?
I went to his church every Sunday.
He was a priest?
He was a priest. He was a good priest. And he was following more of the more liberal things. So we kind of got an intellectual sermon every Sunday. And
what parish was that? Do you remember?
No.
I think it
Was
was
it
St.
Metairie?
Jerome's in Kenner.
Oh.
Something like that.
Yeah, I had to drive a little bit to get to that church.
He was hanging around in Metairie, but I don't know how you found out about him, but you must have asked or something. But anyway, he was a very cool priest.
He's a year or two older than you, huh?
Yeah. And so, what? Now I have to intervene for a moment here.
Well, let's make this a new chapter here.